Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Michael Penix Jr., Week 18, overtime thriller versus the Panthers. Mike was dealing, driving the ball all over the place, locked in, fired up for this one. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. Before we dive into the video, a quick reminder about the Quarterback School Patreon community. This group is the foundation, the bedrock of the channel. Not only is it a great, inexpensive way to support the channel, but you get even more Quarterback School content. So hop over there, join, become a member. I appreciate your support. As for this video, let's get into it. Michael Penix Jr., Week 18 versus the Fighting Ejeros. Little drive out, rip the hole shot. And there are a few ridiculous throws in this game. This is an elite arm talent throw. That's a ridiculous throw. In fact, I'm comfortable saying borderline poor decision. But if you got an arm that can do that, I mean, maybe they know they got Ejero playing safety out there calling defenses and playing DB, but that is a ridiculous play. Now, there's no way that the safety should allow this to happen. Okay, so what is this play? You see this play run everywhere in the league. Must outside release, go. That's the whole shot. Here's that drive out, so often called zebra drive. Then we're going to have it paired with just pure drive down here to the bottom. So it's usually basic with a drive. And if you catch cloud, so rolled up flat corner here, right? So he's got the flat, he's in the curl, he's the half field player over the top. I would say most people would want to live here. You know, he's going to settle up in zone, just get a completion. Sometimes you can fit it in here depending on what that corner does and if you got on the same page. But this is a low probability throw. And in reality, you know, this safety almost certainly should either make a play on the ball or, you know, 10 years ago, that's an ambulance shot. But you at least have to tackle him. You've got to collision the receiver. You can't go for the ball and miss it there. And that doesn't take anything away from it being an elite throw. So watch the route at the bottom. Must outside release. That's going to widen the corner for the slot out. When he throws this thing, I mean, when he makes the decision to throw this thing, you could say, hey, I mean, I don't like throwing flats in the cloud corners, but if you're ever going to do that, so if you're ever going to come out here and rip this out and like settle him up in two, this would be the look to do it. And in reality, it's kind of the same throw as this rail shot. It's an easier throw. They're both should be, probably in my opinion, a collision here. And this certainly should be a collision here. But it's a ridiculous throw. It's a great catch as well. You can see the other part of it. I think it's always important to play these things out. If you didn't go here, this is where I'm saying it normally goes versus this look. It doesn't take anything away from the throw. I just think it's living on the edge. And you have to acknowledge the fact that that's not the greatest DB play, right? We're not playing against the most stout defensive unit here when we talk about not giving up big plays and points. Whoop! But that's a hell of a throw, y'all. That's a ridiculous throw. And that's not the only one. They're layered all over this film. 1, 2, 3, hitch out. And again, you can see that drive coming right to left for us to London. He's settling up in zone. Regardless, it's almost like the safety doesn't believe he's throwing it there either. It's almost like the safety's taking an angle for the out. And then he's like, oh, hold up. He's throwing it to the hole shot. And that's a ridiculous catch. Great body control and spinning, keeping your feet in. That's a hell of a football play to get us going. Get the people going. Next one here, 2nd and 5. Another ridiculous throw. Now this one's incomplete to Robinson out the backfield on what I'm used to call a little running back rail or wheel. This is a ridiculous throw, y'all. This is in the breadbasket. Now, this is where it's going to feel like I'm being, you know, mean or picking on the perimeter players. But Robinson's a hell of a player. He probably doesn't have a whole lot of experience of catching the ball this far down the field or running this type of route. But before we even get into the route, just look at the ball placement. So he's running down the side hash. Okay? That's what I call the numbers on the sideline. So anytime you're running down the side hash here, you're probably doing something wrong as a receiver. even if it's a scramble drill and you're coming back, you don't want to have your feet on the side hash very often. That means you're usually going to catch it and go out of bounds. So he's essentially giving no window for Michael to drop this into. Don't worry. Ball, dot, okay? But even if you catch it, you're probably going to get pushed out. So we'll talk about the route and actually how it's supposed to get done, but this is a beautiful throw. Again, and he almost could help himself by trying a little bit harder to keep his feet in. Regardless, I don't think he gives himself a chance with the route itself. Now, what's going on here play-wise, it sure looks like we've got that like deep flag or pylon on here on the backside. We get an in route, okay? And then where the ball's going here on what I'm calling this halfback railer wheel. My thing about it is, let's just pretend the screen, the edge of the screen here, is the out of bounds. You want to leave 5 yards. So in the league, it's often called the red line. So what I mean by that is literally if you go to a practice field, there will be a red line 5 yards from each sideline on a practice field. And the point of that, it's not this where inside the numbers, it's pretending the edge of the field here is the sideline. And the point of that is to teach perimeter players that you want to run those routes down the sideline on the red line so that you can have a window for the quarterback to drop it down. You don't want to run that thing down the side hash. That's no window to drop it down. So that's the main issue here. And again, dynamic, impressive, exciting back. Probably not a lot of experience running downfield routes like this. So right there, even though 41 is on top here, and they still say, hey, shoot, we still like this. Okay, if that's the decision you're making, I think you could easily make the decision, days later with a clicker to come back here and throw the in versus middle field closed man. But even if this is the case up top, you don't want to run and just get pushed like this. That doesn't help your quarterback. What you'd want to do here is run at his technique, maybe even jab him to think you might be going inside, and then accelerate and leave a window. That wasn't even a good drawing. Up, give him something, and keep that window, run down that red line so that we've got a window to drop it in on. Regardless, okay, we're here to talk about the quarterback play, to analyze the quarterback play. It's a dot. From the 50 to the 10 to a running back, hand it to him. The downfield accuracy and just the contrast between how Michael drives it down the field and how Kirk drives it down the field or doesn't drive it down the field. This is the difference. That is a dot. Hand it to him. Next one here, 2nd and 10. We're going to run a little curl flat up top. Now, this is a very impressive arm talent throw. There are a few things we'll talk about technique read-wise here, but again, another example of elite arm talent, meaning velocity, rip, timing, tempo, location of the ball, and then some nice strength from London there to break through those tackles. The first thing here, so just talking pure scheme, what's going on? Wait for the short motion down here to the bottom. So what I'm calling hook flat or hook curl, the top of this, okay, with this. Now, I think if you were to just come out here and play this play again on normal down and distance, the ball probably should go here to the flat. It's an easier throw. Anytime you get rotation to a hook like this or to a curl, I personally don't love it. Again, I personally didn't have this type of arm either, but to me, this safety is never really threatened. So you're going to have this extra player, and it's really 2-on-1. The other part I would say here about this route, and this isn't wide receiver school, but for me here, I would want to keep my arms pumping and come back to the quarterback. To me, he just kind of turns, and he's fortunate that Penix has an absolute cannon and drives this ball on him. And so it's all of those things here kind of make this thing go. So the first thing here, let's just play this thing out, curl flat or flat curl. Where should the ball go? The flat defender runs into the curl. I mean, you can feel that rub, get it to the flat. And now the top of the hook, okay, London on the 5. Keep coming back to the ball, bro. Keep coming back. Keep coming back. I'm not familiar with any team in the league that runs like 12-yard button hooks, like how you used to do it at recess. Okay, that's not how it works. You want to hit the top of this thing and come back to the quarterback normally. Some routes you'll come back down the stem. Some routes you'll hinge open and fall out. Sometimes you'll come back, but very rare, if ever, do you stop like this down the field. And so again, the arm talent is beating this, and the arm talent is beating this. And then London's strength is able to get out of the collisions and go get some extra yak. But this is pretty damn special arm talent. And again, I love Michael's base. Look at the base. No wasted movement. Whoom, tight hitch. Again, he's got a real, I think when he was coming out, I gave the analogy, and I don't love comparisons, to Phillip, which is kind of how he's a little pushy, but it's not quite as pushy. And I know they're left and right-handed. He's also got, and this is gonna be blasphemy to a lot of people, but he's so fast with it, and the arm strength is so strong. If I blur my eyes and I remember like old video games, he's got a little bit of Marino to it, where it's that type of like elite, and it jumps off his hand. Not that Phillip didn't have a strong arm, because he did, but it was so pushy that it looked awkward. Mike's is a little bit, it feels like more dynamic, like what in my head, at least I remember the Marino type release looking like with the velocity. Next one here, 3rd and 5, a little scramble for a touchdown run up top to the up top pylon. This one kind of gave me flashbacks. I forget who they were playing against, but it was Indiana, really the first time I ever saw Penix play. I want to say Penn State maybe they beat. There's some sort of awesome game where Mike played out of his mind. But whatever he's supposed to be throwing to here, like it looks like he's trying to come back to the back and the back's not ready right there. He's got to go, protect the ball, and then show the athleticism, the flash. You get London on the box out there to the front pylon, and then extend. I think the one in college was a little bit better with the maybe one handball extension, but I love it. Hit the pylon, touchdown, love the athleticism, love the decision making. Again, you combine this type of ability to do a little bit of create, extend, find the goal line with the arm talent, and we're off to a hell of a start. Next one here, just a quick hitch down here to the bottom to London. And I love the timing of this thing, the ball location. There's also a little bit of nuance here going on at the slot with Pitts and Clowney that we'll talk about here on the right side, where you see 8 engage and kind of occupy 7 as he drops out to the flat. But this is a very nice job from Michael and company, just being on the same page. So a simple little hitch route, up, stop. I like the fact that he comes back a little bit at the top of this thing as well. This seam right here, to me, I've always thought of this as an occupy seam, especially in the quick game, where he's looking, he can't go inside any sort of flat defender. So if he feels like someone's running to the flat here, either one of these guys, we've got to wall this thing. You've essentially got to create a silo for this one-on-one outside. And this is about as tight as it can be. And Clowney is a big dude, and it's going to go right by his ear. So watch the seam here. Occupy, boom, by him. So again, that's how you can get away with that kind of, I would classify as like medium tight split down here to the bottom for London. He's not splitting the difference between the numbers and the sideline. One step, ball on him. Again, ball out on him, accurate, precise, arm talent. Just a really nice job. And Michael seems like the type of guy that would thrive in kind of a quick game environment where he can see it. Certainly got the arm strength, the decision making to put it exactly where he wants and be precise. Next one here, another big play chunk up top. This is going to be an extension. We're going to expand here the play. It's not there. It's not there. Out of structure. What looks like was originally dagger ends up being a bit of a scramble drill. And again, Michael driving the ball down the field, ripping it. Finding London here as he extends to the left. So whatever he's looking at, no, doesn't like it, extend, 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 and then just rip a laser, and London goes up with a huge catch radius and makes a nice play. So it sure looks, now, is he looking off as he's looking down here? Maybe. Who knows what exactly they're trying to do here. This to me has the bones of dagger up top. So when it's not there and he's got to go, now we wheel out of here from the dagger and get to the sideline. And again, I'll pause it to showcase it. But when he's out here and this guy's out here, we've got defenders in the way, and these are big time throws. These are not like check downs in the flat. This is driving the ball down the field, out of structure, extending plays, just back breaking to the Fighting Ejeros. No, No, got to go. Now look when he sees him right there. He's making the throw. Again, now, you would love, if you coach defense, to have these guys play the ball and not be that out of position here. That's a lot of space. But again, even with that space, this still has to be a big time throw on the sideline. It's just a beautiful job here. He's obviously working to his throwing side as a lefty, but still, I love the ability to extend, to create, to push the ball down the field, to not make a forced bad decision. So is he looking off here, coming back to the left? I don't know. It looks like he's kind of reading that thing out right to left. No. Whoop. Don't force it. Get out, extend. There it is. Hell yes. Next one here, little 2-minute situation, 40 seconds left to go, second quarter. We're going to rip the smash down here to the bottom. We're going to fake the quick out to Pitts. We're going to rip the corner. So we get a little shoulder shrug, a little shoulder F, IF, however you want to classify it. This is another big time drive throw down the field. You can see it's real subtle. Watch his shoulder. Open to the right. Boom, right there, like he's going to throw it to Pitts. Then he comes back and rips the corner. You guys, that's elite arm talent. My God, look at my guy, Jero. Can't believe it. Shaky head, shaky head, shaky head. Just an elite, dynamic throw. World class. It's a tough one. Damn. Shaky. So when is he shrugging? As we get out here, what I'm calling an iteration of smash, that's the shrug. And then you're going to rip the corner. And this is going to be versus a 2 shell. So you're going to get a half field player. And then here's that corner or cloud player. And so we're shrugging to bring this guy down to open up this window. And again, these are, I think of these shrug plays as very 7-on-7-y, where like you've got all day to sit back there and shrug and go, but you still have to have the arm strength. So first of all, the protection has to hold up. You've got to have kind of the huevos to stand in there and say, shrug, rip. It's just such an impressive throw. Now it stops him a little bit, but I got no problem with being safe and throwing it right at him. And again, it's a drive throw down the field. It's not a huge chunk, but it's a big time throw. There's nothing check downy about this. We are ripping that thing versus cover 2 with a little shrug. Hell yes, I love it. Next one here, 3rd and 10. We're going to hit a corner or pylon or flag up top to the number 2. Again, a massive throw. Again, you can't quite put your finger on it defensively about how these guys are getting this much space or what the hell the corner's doing up top to the left. But Mike knows exactly what he's doing. He's holding that safety, coming back, ripping this thing to the other side. Now, normally, I personally would classify this combination of routes as a quarters beater. So to me here, this is a curl with what I'm calling here a flag or a pylon. It's just a deep corner. And to me, it's almost universally paired with some sort of something in the flat. So it's like a curl flat, but the reason you run a corner here oftentimes is a quarter safety will have to play that vertical of number 2. So you don't have anything to worry about if you're playing quarters. That's why I think of it as a quarters play. It's almost like a clear. And if the corner drives the curl or the hook, you can get a big play just like this. I personally don't think it's designed very often to see cover 3 or safety in the middle of the field. This corner, he's just going rogue. He's losing his mind. So he's driving the curl and he's getting run right behind him when he's got the deep third. And again, if they're going to do that, you got to make him pay. Mike sees it here and lets it rip. It's one of those things where I think it's fortunate that it's that open. I'm not sure maybe that it should be that open. I would be off the glance or whatever the hell this is down here to the bottom to London once we get rotation that way. So off that, up top, maybe a tick quicker, but you can't throw the ball better. I mean, you can't throw the ball better. What is 2 doing up there? As soon as he stops his feet, you got it. Shoot, 34 kind of stops and slows down. He doesn't even think he's going to get it. Keep running, McLeod. Run. Nice adjustment. Hell of a catch. Just a massive play on 3rd and 10. Just a massive play. And again, you can see Mike holding his eyes to the right like he's going to throw that thing. Whoom. Again, deep down the field, dot. Precise. Next one here. 8 seconds left to go. 2nd and 10. We've already tried to throw a fade up top and Didn't hook it up. We go back to it. Verse quarters, one-on-one outside the numbers. You're not going to get a better matchup. Get the matchup you want. Give your guy a chance. Go make a play. Just don't stand over him. Just simply an outstanding job from Michael going back to the well, understanding what the coverage is, where the weak point is, what the matchup is you want, holding your eyes, giving him a chance. Beautiful kind of like semi-back shoulder. That's not bad coverage. It's just a bigger body. It's just a better matchup. And again, if we're going to run what I'm used to calling the quarterback school logo, which is really just 2x2 all go here, if you catch quarters versus all go, meaning quarter of the field, quarter of the field, quarter of the field, quarter of the field, some version of red 4 or quarters, really the only matchup that you like on this is going to be outside. So do you like that one-on-one or do you like this one-on-one? I think it's easier to throw a back shoulder to the short side or to the boundary. So let it rip. And again, that's exactly what they were thinking. Michael gave him a chance. He went up, head topped him. Just a beautiful job of being able to get it up quickly, diagnose it, find the one-on-one, give your guy a chance, hook it up the second time. Simply outstanding job managing the end of the first half. Find a way to get the matchup you want, hold your eyes. Again, down the field, precision. All right, into the second half here. This is an absolute brutal one. Okay, first of all, interception. Hank. Right? Hank sucks. I would also classify this as both a very impressive throw and a poor decision for Penix. Now, again, you got to understand, okay, I'm not blind. Okay, I see the ball going off the guy's hand, batted up in the air like a volleyball set. Okay, nice bump save for us. That being said, okay, I feel like I'm as on record as any person who talks about football in any sort of public sphere as saying, I hate this play. Okay, I just hate it. What is Hank over the ball? Here's the hook. Here's the hook. And this is really inverted Hank. This is like usually a smoke route or a one-step. Okay, so this is inverted Hank. True Hank would be flat curl. Okay, but really it doesn't matter, right? You're getting to the same spots. They both suck. No, not one is not better than the other. Although if I had to pick one, I would pick this one as a better one, inverted Hank. So when we throw this hook here, he's throwing it hot. Okay, so if we were to draw this up, if I was to draw this up or install this for your team, it would look, well, it wouldn't look like this at the top, but it would look something like this. And we would go over the hots, and the hot would be here, and maybe a peak hot if you get hit with like 2 trap or something, where if these guys were to all vacate, this guy would peak on his way. Or you could just play it hot because it's the number one. It happens fast enough. What I don't love as a hot answer here is to say, hey, 5-person protection, we're going some iteration of 5-0. They bring the 6th guy. Technically, that's the quarterbacks from depth, even though it's in the A gap. To me, the ball, the safe throw is right here. And if he's pressed, throw it over his head. Same thing up top. That would be where my initial thought process would go. Okay, now Michael doesn't do that. He throws the number 2 hook. Okay, he throws it with pretty impressive anticipation with a dude bearing down on his face. The throw is not perfect. It's a little low. It's also one of those things, and this is pretty rare for me to stick up for a wide receiver here, but this is not something that I would imagine most teams practice catching a hot from a hook or going fast. You know that this is 1, this is 2, so you don't expect this thing to be thrown like a 9-stop. So even though you might look at it and say, damn, bro, you volleyballed that thing up. Yeah. And is that where the ball should go? Now, again, maybe they play it totally different. I fucking doubt it. Okay? I doubt it. Maybe you might say, Michael's got unbelievable vision. Well, he's throwing that thing with a dude bearing down on him, no doubt. But could you just throw it to the smoke outside for a safe completion? Yeah. You know, could 34 catch the ball, come back, not slip as he comes out of that thing? Yeah. Yeah. All the above. I still think this is one of those ones where you can just learn, first of all, that this play sucks. Okay? It does. And then if they call a play that sucks, just play it as it's designed to be played. So again, the other part here, just pass pro wise. So this would almost always get a 5-0 check by any 5-person protection. You would be impossible to get a beat that this guy's blitzing from depth there. If he were to get up and stand in the A gap, you would get what most teams would call a squeeze. So he would be down and then you would be hot here. So from depth here, in my opinion, this is from the court. This is most likely the quarterback's guy. You got to handle that. And again, your first read is here. So could you throw it there? If you know you're going to be hot with this kind of pressure from depth, just throw the damn smoke. It's a bummer. And it's still an impressive throw. Say it can be the bad decision and a good throw. And again, look how fast the release is, man. He doesn't have to get lined up. The guy is 2 yards away from him. Less than 2 yards away from him. Boom. Doesn't have to get through it. Hits the receiver in the hands. Now it's a bit of a Tebow, but anticipation, and that's just a bummer. That's sickening. So you look at the box score, see 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Dang, that's the pick, Hank? Next one here, another absolute dot down the field. So the new number 2 up top, London running the post clear. Middle field closed, man, lay it up and over. I mean, again, you feel like every time I see a deep ball down the field, I'm like, I can't see a better throw than that this game. Next quarter, boom, another big throw down the field. I mean, this is just elite arm talent, right? Like that looks like he's back at the Huskies, just ripping a post down the field. It's a handoff. It is awesome. It really is. And again, you have to at least acknowledge the fact that, again, who we're playing against defensively and what they've given up all year. But man, to say, hey, run a post off this kind of leverage, man coverage, that's a pretty good look. Even though nobody's getting out over here to threaten the vertical here, that if you were to just come up and go one-on-one at like an NFL practice and say, hey, you can run a post and the corner or the DB type has to be outside leverage of you, and you've got all this field to come up and work, you would take that all day. All day. That's unguardable. And how they got there was with that little short motion, right? So this little motion across created the confusion up top, gave us the alignment we wanted to take this opportunity down the field. And if London wasn't there, you've got the in up top as well. So a lot of space, but the best part of this play is absolutely the throw. Again, dropping it down the field, ripping it, being blocked up, pistol, play action, nice pass pro, step into it, and throw a handoff. I love it. Next one here, 2nd and 20. I thought this was maybe the only kind of true misread I saw in this game. And it's not that this is a terrible decision. It's 2nd and forever. You throw a check down, get half back. That part of it, I totally understand. I think when you turn on the film, we've got a chance for Pitts here on the right seam to throw that. So you can see the top right corner. He looks like he's looking there. And just for whatever reason, the check down is also open, but pretty rare, in my opinion, to get a seam chance like this and not have Mike throw this thing. The other thing I would say here is, this guy, no doubt, seems like he's tough to throw to. And what I mean by that is that the way we're running this, okay, so half field player, this, what I'll call curl zone defender, okay. When you run a seam here, as you're passing, you need to get past this second level of the defense. So first level, second level, third level. As you get past this second level of the defense, then you look. Okay, you can't start looking on seams before you cross here. And you also, it doesn't matter if you're fast if you don't run the routes fast. You can't slow around the guy. You've got to hit this thing 1,000 miles an hour. Get in there, then look. So to me, the route here slows and hurts himself here, but I still think it's a lot of space, and I still think we could probably throw that. Now, am I being nitpicky? Maybe, but you don't get a lot of chances to throw this guy the ball down the field seemingly in any sort of like consistent, successful mode, and that's a premium look. Now, Mike might be thinking, I'm not throwing it to that guy. Like I'm trying to hold this guy here and rip that whole shot that I've already hit. Okay, so you can't really predetermine it. It's got to be based off this guy. If he's hanging tight, then let's rip that hole shot. If he's playing traditional Tampa, like catching some part of the number, and they're not playing true Tampa, they're just playing 2. So this guy's not getting to the middle of the field. This is made to order in the league, especially away from the back. So if the back's the number 3 up top, that's a premium look. So to me, this is just a premium look turned down. Not the end of the world. Just still got a completion. Didn't force it. If you didn't like it and you're the decision maker, all you can do is turn on the film, probably learn from it, probably predetermining I'm going to throw a hole there and doesn't. And again, it's second and forever, so there's nothing wrong with throwing the check down. It just might not be as good. Next one here, 3rd and 9. We're going to throw a speed out up top to the little back and forth motion, 34. Now we throw a bit of a sinker here and end up getting 4th and 1, but it's 3rd and long. We get the completion. Yeah, I love the kind of way that they're able to make sure that they create free access to get that kind of out right at the sticks. I think moving forward, this will be one of those things where you see a young player and you realize, hey, this is not the footwork we normally throw with a speed out at a gun. So what I'm calling this 10-yard speed out here or spray out, normally from gun here, I would say this is a 3 no hitch throw. Now, not always, but almost always. Some people burner it or shuffle it to get a hitch. That was always me. But I would say most football, this route is thrown off 3 no hitch. Whatever Mike's doing here, as far as some people take false steps, and again, my dyslexia is slipping in here as we figure out he's left-handed, so it would be his right foot theoretically would be the false step. So it'd be right foot, left, right, left throw. Okay, so that would be kind of the farthest version that you would want to go, or the slowest version you would want to go. For me here, it looks like he goes, and again, you might think this is crazy nitpicky, but this is how the ball is a sinker and not a strike and not on time. To me here, you would want to catch this and eliminate whatever right, left, and then we're dropping. Then we're into the 3-step drop. So it's almost like he catches it and like shuffles, then does the drop no hitch, and now we're late. And now the ball dies on us. And then the other part about it is normally you want these 3 steps to be even. So to me, that would be like 1st, 2nd, 3rd. I never used to I think it's really hard to be balanced where you take a big 1 and then 2 is right underneath you and 3 is right there. Like that to me is a recipe for being unbalanced and falling all over the place. So it's that initial shuffle and then it's just the rhythm of the steps. So watch the footwork here and be really, really picky. So see that initial shuffle? So that shuffle, and then we're into the 3-step drop. And one more time. There's like a shuffle right there, 1, 2, and then he's dropping. So it's not the traditional just right foot false step. He's taking a left foot false step, right foot, and then he's dropping 3 steps. So it's almost like a bastardized, really shitty 5-step drop. So again, you might think I'm being crazy picky, but when you're talking about nuance, detail, and depth of routes on 3rd down in the red zone, all this stuff matters. And we still get a completion. Not the end of the world. But again, that would be something immediately going into the offseason as he looks at these reps, as they look at this reps, that would be like, hey, I'm going to guess that this is not the footwork that we wanted. Left, right, left, right, left. And I didn't even talk about 2 and 3 stepping all over each other. Regardless, still got the arm strength to give us a chance on 4th down. Next one here, 3rd and 20. Down 7. Ball's on the 21. We are going to rip. I'm going to call this like a nod post, angle post. I'm not going to say that I know for sure what that route is. I will say that there were certain places they ran versions of posts in the cloud safeties like this, and it kind of looked like this. This is a ridiculous throw. This is an elite world class. Man, is the Dirty Bird really tall? Yeah. Wow. This is an elite throw. So again, what this route is, I have no idea what they call this. Up, kind of nod it, and then kind of roll it so that you can throw this in front of a safety, a middle field open safety. Because traditionally, if you were to just come up and run like a post versus middle field open or quarter safety here, this guy's just going to be right in the area. So you've got to kind of run something and then get in front of that guy. And so back in the March system, we used to call it an angle 8. Who knows what the hell they call it? But this is a beautiful throw. 3rd and 20, y'all. Let this thing wash the hell over you. Beautiful base. Whoom. I mean, just an absolute heater. And again, hey man, that's a lot of space back there on 3rd and 20. But that is a beautiful throw. I mean, he lets that thing go right there. So a little bit of anticipation into that window as well. But that is a heater. That is being on the same page. That is elite arm talent. Really world-class arm talent. Just impressive on so many different levels to be able to be super decisive, right on him. Oh my. Next one here, 3rd and 10. This is the same play as the first play of this video. This is drive out down here to the bottom. This time we throw the slot out. Now it's 3rd and 10, and Mike is getting absolutely smashed right in the face by a free access edge pressure player. Now again, the throw is a bit of a Tebow, but as we're driving this thing, we've got a free slot defender running right at us. So unblocked, running right at us. Here's that, what I'm used to calling zebra drive out. Don't get worried about calling it zebra. It's just a slot out, and then you've got drive coming to you. So if that's not there, you've got the drive, then you've got the basic. And again, everybody runs this play. Again, that first one, we hit that honey hole shot versus cover 2. This time we're going to rip it right to the number 2 on the out. That's the thing to understand. Now, the other part of this play is that I would bet that either the back or the offensive line is in the wrong here as far as who's who in the zoo, as far as who they're blocking. I would bet that Robinson probably should come all the way across here and pick this slot pressure up. But again, as he's throwing this thing, he's staring down the barrel. He's throwing that with anticipation. So again, just appreciate all the layers of this. So we're already throwing it right there. He's already tapped the ball. That's the anticipation. Here is the free runner. Now, whether that's an assignment error, we'll talk about from the back end, but he's unblocked, running right in your vision. So as you're playing quarterback here, you're looking this way. The guy that you're throwing it to is not out of the break yet. Right? You've also got the corner staring at you, so you need to trust this guy to make sure that he runs through the corner here as well. This is just really good 3rd down offense from the quarterback and wide receivers. This is elite. Boom, and then the arm talent to push that thing, drive it down the field outside the numbers. It's really beautiful. Now, pass pro wise here, again, we don't know what the pass pro call is. What we do know is that we have 5, 6 with the back. They've really only got 5 in the box here, right? 3 up front, 2 down. Most 6-person slide, half slide, turn protections, however you want to say it, I would say you're either going to get a 4-person turn, so he's going to go here, here, and these two will be fanning out to the slot. Or what most teams would probably do here is essentially go 5-0 and say, hey, we'll take care of the box. Back you go, scan side to side. So here to here. And so when he steps up and gives help on a little game inside, that allows that slot nickel star pressure to come free. So again, I don't know who for sure is wrong. I would guess the back. Michael overcomes. This is a beautiful 3rd down completion. So again, you can see the back sure looks like he's tracking that backside backer type, this player right here. To me, I would want to communicate. I really doubt that the back would be here and the offensive line would be these two all the way out to this nickel. Now, he's not going to run out there like that, but just assignment-wise. So again, just being on the same page. And again, they've got the best seat in the house, but oftentimes they're not the best pass protect people as they grow into their career here as far as seeing exotic looks. So the offensive line does a world-class job. Watch the interior sort through that stunt. They pick it up. If Robinson were to keep scanning and trust the guys up front and block the edge, Mike wouldn't get hit. Be an even better play. So that is a wrap. Michael Penix Jr., week 18, didn't go their way in overtime, but my goodness, you've got to be excited if you're a Falcons fan about what we've seen from Michael Penix driving the ball down the field. The deep ball accuracy, the arm strength, the quick release. I think the thing that kind of surprised me in this, not that he can't extend and create, but that it looked really comfortable and smooth and natural. It wasn't forced. He didn't like what we saw down the field. He was able to extend and drive the ball down the field. It's that deep play, deep throw accuracy that I think pops off the film, even on incompletions. He's making great throws. And so it'll be fascinating to see what they do kind of perimeter wise to help maybe elevate some of the speed out there. But overall, my goodness, I love watching Michael rip it all over the place. Didn't go their way, doesn't mean that he didn't play well. And then when you layer on how he got the interception, now the box score looks even better. So overall, pretty damn impressive going into the offseason. Thank you so much for hanging to the end. I will see you next time. Have a good one.